We're going to see one example of absolute and relative references in spreadsheets. For example, here we have a spreadsheet where we have these numbers and we have to add, for example, A2 plus B2. Enter. We have 9. If we put in the cell, we see which is the formula. But if we copy this formula into the cell that's below, I've done it by clicking this with the right button and extending it, we will see that the formula has changed into A3 and B3. This is because these are relative references. If we copy the formula into another cell, the content of the formula will refer to the cells that are in the same position relatively to the new one that the other were to the former formula. For example, here we have that we have moved one cell down and now the reference is, instead of 2, is 3. So let's see this case. If we want to add A2 plus B2 and we want to multiply it by C1 because we want to get this result. But we want this relative and absolute reference cells thing is all about economy of movement and ease of configuration when we are copying the formula, so we don't have to make many adaptations. If we copy this formula, for example with copy, and we paste it here, we are going to see that it's using relative references, and now it's referencing instead of 5 plus 4 by 7, now it is 4, it's B2, that's 4, plus C2, that's 63, by D1, that's this thing. So we cannot copy this formula here without losing, because what we want here is to add these two numbers, 5 plus 4, and then multiply it by 9. How do we do that? So we add dollars, we fix the reference of some parts of the formula. In each address we can make absolute or the column or the row. In this case, what we want is to fix the column, so when we copy this formula and add a dollar in the column A and in the column B, so when I copy this formula and I put it here, now it is 5 plus 4, 9, per 9, 81. So I can now copy this formula here also, and we will say that's 9 per 10, 90. But now if we copy these three formulas, I'm going to copy it, extending it, we can see that it is multiplying, it's summing 21 plus 1, 22, but it's not multiplying it by 7, it is multiplying it by C2, by 63, because relative reference has moved. In this case, if we want to copy a formula to a lower cell, then what we are going to do is we are going to put a dollar in the row reference, so when it's copied, the one doesn't move. So if we copy this formula now, then we have that the one hasn't moved, and now we are summing 22 per 7. And now we can take this formula and paste in this 6, and we get the correct results. You can see it's A3 plus B3 by D1 and A3 plus B3 by E1. This way, by managing where we put the absolute reference, we can, with only one formula, extend it to all the area. For example, I have this bigger example where I would like to calculate the percentage of all these numbers. If I take this cell and I want to do it, I'm gonna take this out, because this absolute value is a function that we are not going to use here. And I can erase this, sorry, and I can erase this so you can see that if I take this formula, I copy it to all the area, then I get the percentage, for example, 100% of 3, of 6, of 10, because the dollars they say that they don't have to move the first column, that is where the percentages are, this one, and we don't have to move, when copying the formula, the first row, that is where the numbers are. But the row of the percentage and the column of the number is relative, so it changes when we put in different cells. And with this, we have seen the absolute and relative references and what is their use. The use is to make you easier when you have to fill a formula space in a spreadsheet. If you put the dollars wisely, you will get it much better. It's always the same. If you put your dollar wisely, you will get it much better.